I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Today is the day. As you guys can see, I have the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 key art blown up real big here so we can just indulge in this glorious masterpiece that is this artwork. Now, I will say before this video starts, I apologize that it's getting up so late. I came home from work and I had things that I had to do around the house, and then also, I don't know if this is like Samantha Maxis or Dr. Edward Richtoff in here, but they're playing with my mind, because literally the second I got done doing everything, I sit down to record, instant migraine. So they're doing everything in their will to stop me from talking about zombies, but I'm here. I have a migraine, so luckily there's not going to be any actual like video gaming going on. It's just going to be me yapping and talking. So I apologize for no actual gameplay going on, but I just needed a chiller video, just kind of me reading off basically everything that is on this blog post in regards to the new zombies. Alright, but getting into it, here is the new blog post from Call of Duty and Treyarch about Black Ops 6 zombies. As you guys may know, the Black Ops 6 Terminus gameplay reveal and I think around 20 minutes of in-game gameplay of Black Ops 6 Zombies did release today. Across various YouTube channels, certain people got to go out to Treyarch early and get this footage, so if you guys want to watch that, definitely make sure to just look it up. It should be everywhere. If you type in Black Ops 6 Zombies, it will come up. Also, alongside of that, we can see this video down here from Call of Duty itself. This is actually the first trailer for the map, not just the intro cutscene. So if you guys want to watch those, definitely give it a look. I don't know if I'm allowed to really show them and react to them. I don't know how the whole copyright thing works, but I did watch them, so I do have the background information. But just want to let you guys know I won't be watching those as a reaction, just kind of reading off the blog post and giving my thoughts. So with all of that out of the way, here we go. So part 1, the prelude. Welcome to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies. Purely focused on round-based zombies action coming to the game, the following intel barrage features extensive comms direct from Treyarch Zombies team, including a detailed gameplay overview and deep dive into all the pre-game preparations you'll need to undertake, full details on what to expect when you're engaging hordes of the undead during a match, and a terrifying look at the dark bestiary of undead currently haunting Terminus Island. Like I mentioned before, you guys can definitely watch this video. It's just a trailer kind of detailing you know, some cool cinematics, showing off a little bit of gameplay, some of the mechanics. Everything that is seen in here will be extensively detailed below this, so like I said, if you guys want to watch that and then come back and listen to me yap, perfectly fine. So getting down here, Terminus overview, Outpost Escape, Philippine Sea. Located in the Philippine Sea is a remote Terminus Island complex. Historical data indicates a pre-World War II coal mine operating on this island, abandoned around 1932. 10 years later, Terminus became a forward U.S. naval base. Mothballed until 1965, the CIA converted it into a top-secret outpost used for the detention of blank. In 1984, blank. In 1986, Project Janus took over the island, building a laboratory in the subterranean mining caves. So we got 2 bits of information that are blanked out here. I'm assuming this will relate to the Easter egg that's actually in the game, which we're going to talk about this a little bit later. The Easter egg won't actually have any steps on how to complete it until I think they said about a month or a month and a half in. So when this map drops, it is like free-for-all. Anybody can hop in. There's no clues about the Easter egg. You just go in and try to find it like a good old-fashioned Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg hunt. But like I said, I think with these 2 things being blacked out, it is to kind of preserve a little bit of that mystery and storyline that you're going to find out in the actual Easter egg. Continuing on, after Peck and Maya break the Requiem crew out of their prison cells, they soon learn that this is a bioresearch station for Project Janus. This part goes later on to detail that you can choose your operators in this, and they recommend playing with the operators given in the map, our new crew, which I believe is Weaver, Gray, Carver, and I believe Maya. You play as Maya as well. All 4 of those characters will interact with each other, as we already know, kind of giving each other back and forth voice lines and just kind of developing that story. Now, yes, you can play with other operators in the map, but they do give like the insight that, hey, this is the best way to enjoy the story if you want to do so. Get ready to play this round-based zombies map at the launch of Black Ops 6 on October 25th, along with Liberty Falls. So Liberty Falls is a map in West Virginia. We saw a little bit about this. Not too much was revealed, but we do have a few pictures from Liberty Falls. A lot of people are speculating this is going to be like a transit remaster in a sense, and it does kind of have a more I guess, real world experience to it. This is something that any, modern US citizen would see. This is a pretty realistic looking, just like, hey, you drive down the road a little bit, bam, you're going to see something similar to this. This bit kind of is just an overview of Liberty Falls. We know that this map is going to be coming out at the exact same time as Terminus, and it's also going to be happening at the exact same time. With this being said, I don't know who our 4 characters will be for this. If there are any, it might just be an operator map, and there won't be any storyline there, but I'm sure they'll link it somehow. But this is basically just going over an overview, kind of like what happened, how it got overran by zombies. So that was a little look at the new map Liberty Falls and Terminus, but here we go, part 2, the Essence of Zombies gameplay overview. This is mainly where everything came in. This is literally what everybody was worried about, is the gameplay. What are the features? And this is it. So an introduction to round-based gameplay. Black Ops 6 Zombies is purely focused on creating the finest, most rewarding round-based experience Treyarch has ever made. We knew this going in. We knew that this was going to be strictly round-based, and they kind of talk about what makes the round-based rewarding in this sense. I've always made it a point to say that I love progression in zombies, and there's a few things in here that aid progression and at the same time, in my opinion, feel like they take away. However, we won't know till we actually wind up playing. Many of the gameplay systems you'll be reading about will be familiar to veteran zombie players, while others are designed to grow the zombies community and allow newer players to explore more of the main quest more easily. That's a reference to kind of what we talked about earlier, where they are going to have an Easter egg for every map, and the steps for the Easter egg won't be available at the launch of the map. I think that's a really great way to balance it. I love that they're including a traditional Easter egg hunt, and then they said, hey, more people want to be able to do this, so let's give them instructions and kind of help them out to achieve the Easter egg. Just if they want to achieve it once, then go back to round-based, they can do that. Essence and Salvage, the currency of round-based zombies. This is where we start getting into those Cold War mechanics that I was pretty sure they were going to return, but not all of them I wanted to, but I'm okay with it because it seems like they've taken a lot of criticism and a lot of thought into actually reintroducing these things into the new Call of Duty. So it just talks down here about how Essence is basically replacing points and what you can do with them, such as purchasing doors, purchasing Perca-Colas, other things around the map like cash ammo grabs and stuff like that, all obviously operate around the point system, or in this game it's called Essence. Most people are still going to call it points, but there was just a little in-depth look there. They also include that you can start trial challenges as well, and there's different mystery box rarities. We knew that going in as well, but it's cool to kind of see it confirm that weapon rarities are back, trials are back, the Wonder Fizz are back, Pack-a-Punch Tier 1, Tier 3, so all your classic Cold War mechanics are back in this. They have a little video down here about them dropping Salvage, which again works the exact same way as Cold War. Like it says down here, use your Salvage in the following ways. You can access ammo mods, specific type of elemental abilities to your weapons, which is really cool. You basically get to choose your Pack-a-Punch ability. Upgrade the rarity of your weapons. You can build stuff at the crafting tables, such as tacticals and lethals, and those support kill streaks as well. Getting into the main quest. So this is like what they're calling the Easter eggs. I think they kind of retired the word Easter eggs and are looking more to make it a main quest. This, like I said, mentions that every map is going to have a main quest or their Easter egg, and you are free to do that from the second the map starts. Try to figure it out. Down here it mentions one of the most thrilling parts of zombies is being off on your own and having the freedom to discover these things. Treyarch also mentions, by the very nature, Easter eggs are redacted and cannot be discussed, though we can state that veteran zombie players should expect plenty of side quests to discover as you dig deeper into the secrets of Terminus Island. What they are stating by this, and a couple content creators that actually got to go out and see the game early, this map has apparently the most Easter eggs and side quests in zombies history. Like, this is the map, which is absolutely insane. In that video, we actually wound up seeing the new Wonder Weapon and a couple of other new weapons as well, and I believe that some of these side quests are actually going to be upgrading those weapons. I don't think it's just going to be a little throw it in the Pack-a-Punch and go from there, which is really cool. This talks about the 2 separate modes in regards to how Easter egg hunts or main quests will be handled. Like I said, there's going to be the one that drops on day 1, where everybody just figures it out, or it'll be the next option about a month later that'll guide you into completing it just to continue the story so you're updated on the lore. Exfil or Expire, we kind of knew this was going to come back. Exfil in some capacity was going to be coming back to Call of Duty. This one was bittersweet for a lot of people, but for me personally, I don't mind the Exfil as long as my gameplay is enjoyable. Now granted, you can always go for high round and not Exfil, that's always an option too, so the Exfil thing I don't really mind too much, but it's just saying that yes, Exfils are back, or you can, you know, fight the endless hordes, and when you die, you die. This is talking about zombie movement, which is basically just the Omni movement and how it translates actually into zombies. As you guys can see down here from this little video, PhD Flopper is back, and it will work with Omni movement. That's the diving backwards, diving forward, to the sides, all that jazz. It works as well. Coming down here to the HUD, this was the one that I was super excited for. So they mentioned 2 types of HUD displays in this, but it is fully customizable. They mentioned the new Black Ops 6 HUD, which you guys can see right here. And then they also detail the Legacy HUD, which is kind of inspired off of the Black Ops 3 HUD. Now, like I said, you can customize these, for the best of my knowledge, to whatever you want. You can have no HUD, you can have minimal HUD, you can kind of move where you want things, which is really cool. It's something that I really wanted. I'll probably stick with something similar to the Black Ops 3 HUD without the compass or the mini maps, trying to keep it as much involvement in the game as possible and not have all these other distractions. So there's an entire loadout here of what you can move, what goes in the bottom left, what you can stick, and where you can't stick it. So this just goes through absolutely everything that you can put in different spots and all that with the HUD. It's super in depth. It's going to take a lot of playing around, but I'm super excited to kind of get in there and see you know, what you can and can't play with. Part 3, locked and loaded pre-game preparation. We figured this was going to come back in some capacity, and I'm kind of happy that it does, because it gives an incentive to getting higher rounds in Call of Duty, just like it did in Cold War. One of the most fun parts about Cold War was actually leveling up your perks and leveling up some of your weapons. That way, when you went into your next run, you had better stuff. It gave incentive to actually playing more and getting those higher rounds. Looks to be Black Ops 6 is no different. Augments, customizing perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades. Augments provide a rich and innovative customization experience, allowing you to invest into research between matches, unlocking augments for every perk, ammo mod, and field upgrade in the game. So this is basically saying that every augment to your perks, your ammo mods, or your weapons will have a minor augment that offers a limited advantage to the item, and a major augment offers a substantial advantage to the behavior of an item during its use. So one seems to kind of have like a passive ability, meanwhile the other one is your major ability. They mention augments are designed to create a deep progression path, as well as offering you the ability to delve into research that benefits your style of play. So you really get a lot of customization and a lot of playable abilities with these augments. I think it'll make for a really cool like video style, maybe some cool challenges like, hey, here's the most overpowered build, or can I complete the Easter egg using the worst build? It has a lot of customization factors here, which I really like for content purposes. Weapons and loadouts. Let's get into the gunsmith and find out more about perfecting your pre-game loadout. So like I said, weapon customization and kind of kits or loadouts, they are back. I'm not the biggest fan of loadouts because of the progression, but it seems like they are aware of what made Cold War's loadouts bad, and it seems like they've kind of reworked it more into the Black Ops 3 creative class in zombies, where you can customize what you want your guns to have. That way when you find them in the game, they'll have those attachments. Stats and camos. Naturally, each of these loadout elements have zombie-related challenges and badges related to them, and the weapons can have camos to grind for. This includes 4 highly desirable mastery camos in zombies, and more to come. I didn't realize they were going to talk about this so early, but yes, there are 4 mastery challenges in zombies, which I'm in love with. I love the grind. I'm so happy for it. Not only are there the 4 mastery camos, there is, I believe, a whole set of player cards you can unlock, a whole set of Dark Ops challenges, which I am in love with. I'm so happy. And there is a special reward for 100%ing everything. That's all the mastery camos and the calling cards. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is like my favorite thing ever. I'm going to be grinding so much. Now here's the bread and butter for weaponry. Primary weapons, fist, and melee. Your main method of eliminating undead consists of your primary weapon, your fists, until you find a way to get a secondary gun in the match, and dedicated melee weapon. The alternative to your melee hit, like they mentioned, is the butt of your gun, but as we know with that new perk, it'll actually change the hit from the butt of your gun to almost like the Thunderwall fist effect from Origins, which is super cool. So like it says, for your primary weapons, you can choose between assault rifle, SMG, shotgun, LMG, marksman rifle, sniper, handgun, or launcher. We know that. And then the melee weapons, you'll be able to choose from your fist and the other melee weapons as stuff comes out in the game. This just goes over how you can acquire all the different weapons in the game. Again, very similar to Cold War. War, very similar to most zombies maps, not too much has changed. Field upgrades. So we actually get a look at the new field upgrade, which is really cool. Field upgrades are going to basically work the exact same as the other ones. You have a recharge limit based on kills. Once you acquire that amount, you get this, upgrade. This is something that will help you out during the match for a limited time. We actually get this new field upgrade called Dark Flare. So it generates a massive energy beam that deals lethal shadow damage. The beam penetrates everything in its path. So as you guys can see, it kind of just looks like what the Wonder Weapon is, but like a purple version of it. It looks like it just zaps through all the zombies. It probably does a crazy amount of damage. My guess is it's going to be worked into the high round strat. I could be wrong, don't know yet, but just theorizing here. So this mentions that your field upgrades can be improved with the augments, which we already talked about. So this also mentions that for the first time in zombies, you can actually switch your field upgrades during the match. So you can do it from your mid-game menu. So this is good and bad. I guess there might be some high round tech here, but like if you know you're going to get a Panzer round or like a Mangler round, you can swap to a better field upgrade to deal with that round and then swap it back to continue the rest of your strat, I believe. I think that's what I'm reading. This gives an example of the minor and major augment. So it says down here, a minor augment is heavy shadows. Zombies impacted by the beam are slowed, so again, passive ability. And then your major augment is Shadow Ball. The beam is replaced with a sphere that deals damage to enemies as it travels and detonates at the end of its duration. So it seems like you would shoot the ball out, it would hit everything, and everything that it hits gonna get damaged. And say it hits a wall or it expires its like travel length, it blows up. So again, that's like your major augment. That's the one that you're paying attention to. But the minor augment is it also slows them down during that as well. This is just a brief overview of the tacticals and lethals. We know how this kind of works. If you played Cold War, you know how this works. You get salvage from killing zombies, and that aids you into building these things. Lethal and tactical. Sometimes they're helpful. In Cold War, you could kind of get by with the Frost Blast and the grenade tactics. I don't know how it's going to work for this, but this is also probably where you would build kill streaks as well. This down here is probably one of the most exciting parts. Support equipment from the crafting table. So apparently, you can get these, I guess, I don't even know what you would call them, this injection here from the crafting table that actually lets you turn into the Mangler. So yeah, this should be super cool. I mean, turning into a Mangler is absolutely insane. We also saw this from the gameplay. You can actually pick up the Mangler's arm and shoot, I think, probably like 10 shots after you kill the Mangler to kind of just help you kill zombies, and it's just a fun little thing that they added. I was kind of upset that they kept adding Manglers in. It felt a little bit redundant, but again, Treyarch knew that, and they made a cool little thing that you could do after you killed Manglers, which was pick up their arms. So little things like that are perfectly fine. If you want to take an idea that feels a little bit like overdone and reintroduce it, I'm perfectly okay with that. And it seems like Treyarch has a very good grasp on that so far. Speaking of reintroduced ideas, we have the Gobblegums. As you guys know, these are going to work a little bit different than Black Ops 3. I think you can earn all of them in-game, and you wind up getting 3 choices from rolling the Gobblegum, and then you get to choose one to use later. I think it's 3 choices per hit, but just like Black Ops 3, you can make the kits for Gobblegum. So you can pick 5 that you want based on their rarity. It might be harder to get from the Gobblegum machine, it might be easier to get from the Gobblegum machine, but you're going to get 3 of those every time you hit the Gobblegum, and then whichever one you want to pick out of those 3, you can use that. So say you wanted, I don't know, you hit the Gobblegum machine, you got 3, one of them was Perkaholic, you're like, dude, of course I want Perkaholic, I'm taking that out of those 3, and then you can use that in game. It just mentions down here that you can't really cheese the Gobblegum system and drop them for your teammates, so there's no like exploiting Perkaholics or going into secret lobbies and they'll just drop you a ton of Perkaholics. You do actually have to earn them in game, which is nice. I don't mind that at all. This also mentions that if you don't use the Gobblegums, they are kept in between matches, which is super nice. That used to suck about Black Ops 3 is you would take the Gobblegum, but if you didn't use it and say you disconnected, you just lost the Gobblegum. So I really like that they made that improvement. They made another huge quality of life improvement as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So getting into part 4 here, this talks about some of the perks that they're bringing back. We have our cult classics from Cold War, as well as the new one down there, Melee Macchiato, which again, I'm super excited to kind of see how it works. I don't know what kind of major and minor augments you can actually add to it, but like I said, maybe my idea with instantly reviving your teammate by punching them might be a major augmentation. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm super excited to see what you can pick and choose with on the perks though. This just mentions the base perks for all of them. At launch, expect to access the following returning perk machines across Terminus Island, each with augments to unlock and to choose from. They all have their traditional abilities. Nothing seems to be too much different. We can see down here a little bit of usage of the actual new perk. Like I said, it kind of looks like when you get the Iron Fist from Origins and you kind of just like thunderwall people out of the way. Yeah, Melee Macchiato. Replace weapon gun butt hits with a deadly punch that sends enemies flying. So like I said, instead of hitting them with the butt of your gun, you just like actually Iron Fist them across the map, which is cool. Actually, down here, look, we have an example of what could be a major and minor augmentation to the perk. Now, again, I think there's like 100 combinations across the perks and the weapons and the field upgrades, so there's a ton of customization, but a quick example they gave us for Melee Macchiato is Hidden Impact. Melee kills reload a proportion of your held weapon, which is great. That's awesome. Get some ammo back. Then a major augmentation is Vampirism. Successful melee attacks heal for 25 health. That's a really good idea. Wait, these augments are super cool. Dude, there's going to be so many cool metas on what you can make with your perks. I love this. This is super cool so far. Like, if you find yourself always training and like maybe getting hurt a little bit, like that little one hit of damage, you can just turn around and like punch one thing and boom, now you got that health back. Ammo mods, the arsenal machine. Whoa, look at this. Okay, this is new. This looks cool. Along with rarity and pack-a-punch capabilities, your primary weapon can be outfitted with an upgrade known as ammo mods. So this is where you would get your brain rot, your cryo freeze, your dead wire, and napalm burst. And I'm assuming that it's bought with the same stuff that you would find, like the salvage, I believe. Oh, look down here, Shadow Rift. Bullets deal shadow damage. Each bullet has a chance to spawn a black hole if striking normal or special zombies, warping nearby zombies away and dropping from. That is so cool. It's literally a mini Gersh device bullet mod. That is insane. That's super cool. I love that. And again, yeah, ammo mods can get augmentations as well. So a minor augmentation could be targeted, drop zombies fall onto other zombies, and then a major augmentation of that ammo mod could be explosive rain. Zombies that are dropped from portals will explode on contact with the ground. This is super cool, dude. I didn't think this was... I thought it was going to be a little bit redundant, but it seems like there was a lot of thought put into these ammo mods. I thought it was going to be like plus 25 damage, or it slows them. Like, there's some thought into this, which is really cool. If you guys played Cold War, Rampage Inducer's back. I think it does for the first 20 rounds. Yep, so the first 20 rounds are a little bit more intense, just like Cold War. Ground loot. Okay, so this is where we're going to get a lot of detail based on like the salvage and stuff. So it says the salvage is green, the armor plates are white, tactical and lethal supports are going to be blue. Again, very similar to Cold War, they're going to drop these things. Now, I believe armor plates, you actually pick them up, and it's kind of like Warzone. You have 3 armor plates, which is not bad. I kind of like this a little bit better than the armor system that they had. You'll automatically pick up the armor plates, and then you'll just have to, like, basically hold Y to put the armor plate back on, which, again, I'm not too opposed to that. I think that's perfectly fine. If I'm reading that correctly, I think that's how armor works. I think it's going to work kind of similar to Warzone, where you have to manually plate up, which, again, I'm not too opposed to. I would have liked to just not have armor in general and maybe build a zombie shield, but that's perfectly fine. Ammo caches, again, spend points to get ammo around. I do and I don't like this. I kind of wish there weren't these. That way it'd be like, oh shit, I'm out of ammo. What do I do now? And your max ammos, I feel like, are a little bit diminished because of these bad boys, but again, not too integral to the gameplay at all. I mean, it's me nitpicking at this point. Tactical raft, so this will cost money, but you can actually go around the map on this, which I hear is pretty helpful because the map is rather large. Also, there's a look at one of the tentacle monsters or something. There is a lot of Cthulhu mythology kind of worked into this map, and they mentioned that a few times. There's also a trap that looks like a giant tentacle monster. I'm super excited to see how these play a role in the Easter egg. Like we mentioned before, the trials are back. I'm not going to sit here and read in depth about all these because the gameplay mechanics are pretty self-explanatory. I'm just going to go through them rather quickly, as you guys have noticed, but trials are back. You spend essence, you get rewards. That's just kind of how it works. This talks about your power-ups. Rip my boy Carpenter. We never cared about him until now. The free points were nice, but he's officially gone. I don't think there's any barriers to rebuild, which I know kind of sucks because a lot of the older zombie people like me, we, you know, love that kind of old nostalgic style of gameplay, but at the same time, those zombies maps didn't go anywhere. So I think this is a healthy balance of a new zombies experience and the old one. Continuing down here, this section looks to just kind of explain the different elemental damages across the grenades, the weapon mods, anything in the map. So your frost damage, your fire, the electric, the toxic, and the new shadow elemental, I guess, effect. Coming down here, weapon rarity and the arsenal machine. So again, it costs salvage to actually upgrade your weapon rarity and upgrade the other things in the arsenal machine. But again, very similar to Cold War. There's 5 tiers, 5 being the most damage, that's the orange one, and so on and so forth. Wall buys are coming back, and again, they also cost points, but just like Cold War, as you progress through the rounds, these will progress in rarity, so it kind of keeps every gun equal, which, again, I'm bittersweet about. I understand why it's good, but you'll never get another gun kind of like the SMR, where it's like, dude, this thing is actually trash. Like, there's no saving certain guns, which, again, perfectly fine. They want to make it more balanced. I'm okay with that. As long as the gameplay is good, I don't mind these changes at all. Wall buys armor levels. So now this is a little bit new because armor before used to have to be upgraded in the machine. It looks like now that you can actually buy armor from the wall. The new armor wall buy ensures you have added protection. There are likely to be 2 different types of armor wall buys that increase your armor levels. So level 2 armor vests are blue. You can now plate up twice. And level 3 armor vests, which are purple, which allow you to plate up 3 times. Once you visit an armor wall buy, it ceases to function, and then you just pick up the plates from the ground, or you can make them, it looks like, at crafting tables. So I'm assuming once you buy these armor wall buys, say you have 4,000 points and there's an tier 3 armor wall buy. You run up to the tier 3, you buy the ability to store 3 plates, and then it, ceases to exist. Which is cool, but I don't know how that works on quick revive. Like, if you go down and you spawn back up, do you have to find that same wall buy? Does it move around? These are things that we'll definitely see once we start playing, but I imagine since it just despawns, you probably keep the ability to wear 3, which is perfectly fine. I think that's a good compromise, because I hated the old armor system. The mystery box costs essence. Just classic old mystery box costs points to get. You can actually get the wonder weapon out of it, like we see there. I think they also mentioned there's a gobble gum that automatically allows you to get the wonder weapon, which is super cool. Like, I could imagine the speed runs on this with gobble gums are going to be crazy, which, again, that's why everyone wanted them back. They allowed for some crazy stuff. Not only can you get a random gun, but you can get a random rarity as well. So just like the Cold War box, you can hit it and get a gray pistol, or you can hit it and get a, a legendary pistol, or a blue SMG, a green AR, standard stuff. Increase your firepower. The Pack-a-Punch machine is back. We all knew this was coming, the tried and true Pack-a-Punch machine. What's good about this now is when you Pack-a-Punch, the camo looks amazing. There's 3 different camos, a green, an orange, and a purple, and they all look beautiful. But not only that, when you Pack-a-Punch in this game now, there's no more menu. So in Cold War, you would get stuck on that menu, and you'd have to try to pick your elemental ability that you wanted and upgrade it. And a lot of time, if you weren't doing it in the 2 seconds that you had in between round, dude, your run was chalk. That was it. This eliminates that. As we saw from the gameplay, you just run up, hold X, it'll Pack-a-Punch to the next tier, and then you actually go to the arsenal stations. That's how you will change your Pack-a-Punch ability, so to speak, your elemental ability. Coming down here, it talks about the new wonder weapon, the Beam Smasher. This thing looks insane. Like I said, it shoots a yellow beam right now, but based on that one field upgrade with that purple beam, I have a sneaking suspicion that there will be a separate way to Pack-a-Punch or to upgrade this to some kind of side quest or Easter egg quest. So this thing looks really cool. We can see some gameplay of it down here. When you reload, it sends off an explosive pulse. There's a little radio dish, as you guys can see, that slows zombies down, and then it has the main laser beam that just deletes anything in front of it. So standard stuff here, it just talks about the enemy types that are going to actually be in zombies. One thing that I did find pretty cool from the gameplay is that there are prompted zombie animations. So for example, if you open this door for the first time, you'll see a zombie over in the corner eating somebody, and then it wakes up and is like, oh shoot, there's humans here, let me go munch them, which I think is pretty cool. I think it's something that World War II did originally, and we didn't really see it again until this game, which is perfectly fine. I love little stuff like that. So this just talks about, you have your basic zombies, you have the new armored zombies, which again we know from Cold War, they just deal a little bit more damage, best to get critical shots off on them. You have heavy zombies, which I think are just big tankers, right? Yeah, they're better protected against projectiles and explosive damage, so these guys are a little bit tankier, probably going to be relying on your elemental abilities and not so much explosives. We have the new Vermins, which I know these bad boys actually have a setting where you can turn them off for anybody with arachnophobia, which is perfectly fine, but I don't know how that's going to work, because if you can just turn them off completely, that kind of defeats the point of them being in there, like especially if there's an Easter egg step with them. So maybe it's kind of like grounded, where if you turn them to their arachnophobia mode, it just makes them like low poly or like a giant ball or something. Well, we'll have to see. The new parasites are back, which these are kind of a play on the Apothecon parasites from Shadows of Evil, but they look so twisted and cool. I love how just edgy all these zombies are. Like, they're all disformed human heads mixed with like animals and other like insects. They're so cool. Coming down here, we got the Mangler coming back, which again, usually I'm bittersweet about these guys, but look how sick this guy looks. He looks like, I think it's one of the Doom skins for the Doom guy, but he just looks so raw. Like the jaw popping out, no eyeballs, the giant like hook on his hand, the beam, super cool. Then we have this thing, the Amalgams, I believe is his name, like amalgamations of something. This is actually his mouth down here, and he's made up of a bunch of other zombies and stuff. This actually reminds me of the Cerberus from Fallout 3, which was the most disturbing thing of all time, and I hate it still to this day. But this is definitely like big influence from kind of like World War II zombies. Granted, we did see something similar to this in Cold War with the Abominations. They were kind of a combination of a bunch of different humans and zombies, but still, this is very much like World War II-esque with all the hands and the fingers, the phalanges. Super cool. This talks about the higher round hordes. I believe what they're mentioning here is the super sprinters are going to come in a lot earlier and not just crap out. Like, basically saying higher rounds are going to be harder like traditional zombies. So that'll be good. High rounds will actually mean something again, because in Cold War they were kind of like null and void. You could hit around 100. Really not too... If I could hit the higher rounds, you know it was too easy. This is mentioning the traps that are in Terminus. So as I mentioned before, the tentacle trap, tentacles will come out of this bad boy right here. There's your switch, and it again looks like another like Apothecon or Cthulhu thing. It's these little tentacles in a mouth that pops out of there and starts eating zombies. We also have the Void Cannon Trap, which I think this might be the high round strat, because it looks like there's a large training area, a spot where maybe you can corner yourself and use Ring of Fire, and then this giant trap, which runs for what looked like 20 seconds, and it just sucks up every zombie and instantly deletes them. We also have the Tentacle Trap. I didn't see too much of this, but this is the one that I think you can call in right along this boat side. So before you hop in the boat and actually go around, you can call in this trap, and I think it probably just grabs them, or it sprays out this smoke or something that kills the zombies. But again, super cool. This thing doesn't look so much like an actual octopus. It does look like one of those weird augmented zombie creature things. But if there's a way that they rope Cthulhu into this map through the Easter egg, I will not stop talking about it. It will be the coolest thing ever. And finally, part 6, the next step. So as we mentioned before, Liberty Falls is the map coming out at the same time as this one. August 25th, we'll actually see some gameplay of it at COD Next. But we know it's going to be inspired off of Transit, a little bit of Town. We know the jet gun is coming back in this, and it also looks like there's a way to travel through a dark ether dimension through portals on this map as well. So super cool. If you guys didn't know, if you pre-order the game, you get the new camos. So I got to pre-order mine so I can get these camos, because they look really cool, and I can't pass up a free camo. But other than that, that was a just overview of everything that was in the blog post for it. I know this video was completely different than what I usually do. I'm excited to get back into zombies. This was super fun, just kind of discovering everything on my own, reading about it, and kind of compacting it in this video format was nice. Super excited to be uploading some zombies. Like I said, I'll have this video out tonight, work a little bit more on some Modern Warfare 3, but I'm excited to start streaming some zombies, especially going into the weekend. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and thank you so much for just listening to me yap. Hopefully you guys are excited for Black Ops 6 just as much as I am. This looks to be a blast. So again, thank you guys so much for watching another video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.